Hello. Hi. Right. Social paradigms. The black is still on my face, and I'm scared to wash it off. Okay. Because these have been back to back, these last ones. Anyway, social paradigms. What is social paradigms? Social paradigms is a name which I've come up with for an idea of a structure and an observation of societal conceptions and personality affectations. Affectations? Might be the word. Might be the word. And just sort of the soul and the sort of, the personality and all these sorts of things. Now, social paradigms isn't always almost just something to observe, but it's going to be something to enjoy and to partake in and learn from. Because I was talking about all these things in the past about archetypes and time and all these sorts of things and how we can sort of observe them, record them, all these sorts of things. I want to implement that as much as possible and sociability and sociality and all these sorts of things. And really, like any sorts of things in the observation, because a lot of life is just thrown up in the air, and we're just supposed to sort of take it as it comes and expect to find the right people in the right places and whatever. But why aren't we noting these down and going, okay, I see the pattern here, so you can do well if you want this. I've got this thing, and here you go, there we go, like that. So I'm proposing not only a system, but just other ways and means, like labels and all these sorts of things, and just scientific things really to improve your life and make things quicker for you, really. But also, I'm thinking of a game type structure thing, which we'll be able to do in any situation, online or in real life, of um, uh, like a thing which basically works out what kind of person you are. Okay, because it's a smart computer, it works out who you are specifically, and it mixes you up into different groups. Okay, and then it gives you problems like Big Brother or something. This is what I'm thinking. It's going to be like Big Brother mixed with LinkedIn or something. And the premise is to create things. Okay, so it'll give you a task. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You can either put the ideas on yourself and say, hey, let's make a tiny miniaturette of I don't. Well, let's have a competition on who can make the finest clay animation or something, right? And then everyone goes, yeah, I'm on that, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And then you can either split into groups yourself, right? And the machine's going to observe, how you work and who you are, and sort of take those attributes. Or it might randomize you, or, you might go into a certain subset. And it sees how you work together. It might throw a little couple of wild cards here and there, mix you up like they used to do in that school and all these sorts of things. Um, just to see how you operate, and have a laugh. And then all the profits at the end, because hopefully these things will be profitable. Because realistically, it's about that progression of ideas and having fun and like a lark and everything. So hopefully that would spur and inspirit and create profit to be had and enjoyed, and that profit will get split up amongst everyone and the company as well, the website, so that it can actually fund you to do more things. And you never know, the next thing it turns out you can have a company car and a fresh suit and go away to a holiday place, any destination, or some destination which is suitable to your character, which you might not have even thought of before. And that's what it's all about, really. It's just about finding out people and all that sort of thing. And I think I've really steamed through this concept. But yeah, social paradigms. So I really do think there are, because obviously people have taste, don't they? People have taste, and maybe we can put people onto more things, and it'll be like a social algorithm, or not like where Google gives you personalized ads or whatever, but there could be almost like you just meet more people who put you onto things, who say, oh, well, you might like this, you might like that. Here you go, have some, try this. What do you think of that? And if you're the sort of person who goes, no, I don't want people telling me these things, then there you go. It's brilliant. But it'll be a human thing. And I don't know. It will also, well, I'll leave it there for now. But I just find it interesting about how people have taste, really, and what that means for interaction with each other. Because really, when you fall in love, for example, it's usually people who are in your immediate life. But you could fall in love with a lot of people if you knew a lot of people. if that's your bag or cup of tea or whatever. Yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? You know, we've got technology at our disposal. We should implement that sort of thing, activity. Now let's go into color theory. You know, we're only like a few minutes through, so let's talk about color theory. Now, I think, right, people like different colors. Okay, different colors mean different things. You know, if something's yellow and black, it screams like warning, doesn't it? So maybe a natural color order as well as an interpretive thing. I mean, I haven't actually ever really thought that, but that's the point. And people like different things. So there's potential. Originally, I just wanted to attribute personality factors to different coloured groupings, because I mean, no matter what it is, if you've got a certain that's not true. No matter what you do. Well, if you have like a line of something from 1 to 10, you can put the color spectrum on it. You know, at any degree, you could have like a certain wavelength or whatever, or you could have a whole thing, and you could divide it up into a certain amount of colors. So if there's infinite amount of colors and there's infinite amount of possibilities in different dimensions, provided that morality would be 2D. Because if it's 3D, which I'm not saying it is, it's potentially 4D or whatever, but multiple colors could potentially have multiple meanings even, which is confusing already. But I want to believe that there's social and there's like moral possibilities and there's moral plausibilities and there's personality attributes which are assignable to color, you know, and you factor in all these points and then you can plot a different color to them, and you'd be like, why would I want to do that? Why would I care about that? But you know, you could go as far as to say, well, you know, it's like brand awareness, or it's like, you know, it's like the football team you support or something, isn't it? Or, you know, it's just you can worry less, I guess. Because where does this stem from, Squibs? Well, I'll tell you. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like used to hear green a lot, right? People say, oh, I'm not as green as I'm cabbage looking. Okay. Which means I'm not as naive as I am ugly. Okay. I might look stupid, right? But I'm not that stupid, sort of thing. Right? And then for a long time I was like, okay, green is ignorance, okay. But then there was also another element to green, which was like humility almost, which makes you sick, honestly. And it's about not being, you know, it's like intentional ignorance, I guess. But then the opposite, there's even more to the green. It turns out that green is also, you know, realizing somebody's green, you know, you start to prey on that ignorance or whatever, that you could also say they're green. You know, if somebody's envious, they're green. Or if they're vindictive, they're green. And there's all these different shades of green, basically. And green, funny enough, is the colour which humans can see the most of, apparently. And then I was like, oh, brilliant. So there's all these different greens, and I worked out all of these different, like, hypothetical shades of green, let's say. And I was like, this is horrible. I hate it. And I was like, I hate green. I just really hate green so much. It's like it's just the worst thing in the world. It's literally just the worst. And then I don't know. And then I started thinking about the black mentality. And I was like, do goths like black things? Is black a concept? And obviously immediately think of like black people, like African people. And then I was thinking, I don't know. I was like, why? I'm not saying goth people and black people were the same, but I'd like to say there's a lot of similarities in some of it, in a lot of it. But yeah, you think, like, why do black people? Why are they called black people anyway? Because I mean, so they're like, they're like brown or like, even sort of like different like hues and stuff, shades, I guess, skin colors. But does it go further than skin? Maybe, it's like they're black for a reason. They choose to be black. I don't know. And then you've got like the Romans and all these sorts of Romanesque people who are quite heavily into their like creams and their whites and their golds, white and gold. And I was thinking, like, and the Goths really hated the Romans, and the Romans really hated the Goths. Very similar, a lot of crossover. Both of them became Catholicized, and like the Romans were Catholic, obviously, and they both slagged each other off to high heaven. I think really the Romans obviously sort of won, although arguably the Goths have the better architecture. But even that's like post-Goth, whatever. Because I don't really know a lot about Gothic tribe. Because there was like the Goths who like migrated all across Europe, and there's all these like areas and stuff. But there's a lot of other different cells, I suppose. And who the Goths are, I don't even know. Apparently there are like Gothic people still. I think they've got like blue eyes and black hair or something maybe, and sort of like interesting clothes and stuff that you might sort of see from like sort of like that Mongolian sort of clothes, and even the stuff like sort of like white and the interesting patterns and all that sort of thing. I think could be wrong, but then a lot of people obviously admired Goths and their art and their mentality, I suppose, the ideology. So I'm going on a bit of a tangent about Goths here. And they started to like there were several Gothic revivals. All of them were anti-Romanesque sort of thing, and massive loads of Gothic revivals. And I don't know if I am like got Gothic blood, you know. I know my dad's got black hair, and I know my mum's got ginger hair. So that's like they're both like Celtic tribes. But I don't know. Could the Goths have invaded England at some point? We've definitely got different language and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how any of this bollocks works. But I do know that I like Gothic stuff. Okay, and part of that is the big hair and the black things and the admiration for death and the music and the poetry and the attitude. And it's just all too funny because they're stereotypes like the skunk that potentially people want to feel like, they just happen. They're like natural occurrences. They're like little black spots that appear. And you see these people and it's just hilarious because you're at some point you're oblivious to the fact that you are part of something. But we've said, there's only so many ideas, and some things just strike a chord with different people. And with the color theory, I also think there could be like sound theory because music speaks to people in different ways, and that one sort of covers itself. Do you know what I mean? You like the music, you go to the place, yeah. So that one's that's not too bad, isn't it? You wouldn't see, you might, but you wouldn't see me listen to certain types of music, and I just go, oh, I've got to leave, I've got to get out of her, sort of thing. And then if you'd see, some sort of standard person at a goth place, they'd be taking the piss out of it, wouldn't they? So, You know, that's just a thing anyway. So I was thinking, yeah, there's this whole black thing. There's a whole black philosophy. There's a whole black mentality. And I was like, what does that mean? Where does that come from? And all this sort of thing. And then I was like, what if there's an entire colour spectrum of ideology? You know, different types of blue, different types of red, different yellows and stuff. And then I got thinking about how, well, at least it springs to mind now, but in the past, I've definitely thought about how the samurai and like martial arts in Asian and in all lots of qualities, um, cultures, movements, and stuff. They have their different ranking of red, not blood, 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 blood color, right? And sometimes I think that's from like blood, um, like blood colors, and even like sometimes I think pirate flags. It's like, what if they're all blood colors as well? I mean, it's an idea, isn't it? Like you start off white with your white clothes, and then it goes red, and then the red goes a bit yellow because it gets a bit yellower. You know, or maybe it goes white, and then it goes a bit yellow, and then it goes red, and it goes back to yellow, and then it goes back to red, and then it goes to green, and then it goes to brown, and then it goes to blue, and it goes to black, and then it goes back to brown, and it goes to maroon. You know, all of these colours. I was like, oh, well, hopefully they're not blood. But yeah, there's like this colour spectrum there as well. I don't think that's sort of the same. That's sort of more transient in one direction, I suppose, isn't it, than the other. But you know, maybe I think there could be some sort of colour theory, and I'd like to potentially attribute that to the social paradigms thing, and just try and work out that sort of thing because it helps to have some sort of differentiation, and it would be nice to think that there's some sort of clock of everything. Do you know what I mean? The everything clock. Just plug you into the everything clock. Oh, yeah, bling, ding, 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 ding. There you go. Nice. Well, do you want to see your answers? I'm alright, I'm just tired. I've been tired something to do actually before you plugged me in. Yeah, pretty much. And that's that, everybody. So if you like the sound of that and you're like, actually, I want to play your games, son, then it's like I'll sort you out. Because I've pretty much worked a good deal of it out, and I'm just waiting for some other willing candidate who's interested. So thanks. That's social paradigms and colour theory. All right, nice one.